morning, guys. It is the 20th of January. I've been thinking about starting like vlogging consistently. I did it at one time, but it was just 3 weeks. But now that my training is getting deeper in and I want to grow the brand, the personal brand, I think it's the best time to do so. Anywho, I volunteered for the half marathon. Wait, trash truck. Anywho, I volunteered for the International Half Marathon in Austin Sunday, I'm sorry. But because I did that, I had a double on Saturday, and then I had a flat tire after I got back from work. So I currently have an apartment in San Marcos, which is keeping me broke as hell. But I digress. I went over to San Marcos and I stayed there, but I got there at around 1:30, and I left there to go to the volunteer spot at 5. So I barely slept because, you know, I still had to wake up and get ready. And yeah, very sleep deprived. It was fun. Here's a couple clips. You got this. Keep going. Keep going. You're doing great. You're doing great. Keep pushing.
Berries. Berries where?
Berries at the very end.
At the very end.
That's okay. I honestly really enjoyed it, but I was sleep deprived and I still came back and hung out with my girl. So I slept in very late yesterday and kind of just took it a bit as a rest day, because with the training that I do, I might end up being injured. I'm just recovering from a minor calf strain, so I don't want to push nothing. But I don't want to bore you guys too much with all the details and stuff. Today's training, I'm aiming for 2 hours running, but I might do more. Currently, legs feeling really good, though I am going slightly faster than I should. I'm running right now about a 10-minute per mile pace, which honestly I've never done in these long runs. So I guess the recovery is going well, but I'm just trying to see how I feel. I recently got some Go Gels, so I will be trying those out. I'm very excited to see how they feel on the run. It should be about 8:30 right now. So yeah, you gotta get that grind in the morning, because in the afternoon everybody wakes up, people start wanting to get busy, at least get everything done in the morning. So yeah, I'll catch you on a bit. First Go Gel ever during the run going down. After I open it, of course. I just recorded a whole little extra and I didn't realize that I wasn't recording. But no exaggeration, I'm not even trying to glaze or nothing. That Go Gel, apple cinnamon, it is the best gel I've had. I am a big fan of BPN. I want to be something for them eventually. But honestly, with no exaggeration, I am heading the wrong way. What am I doing? With no exaggeration, best gel I've ever had. It's so smooth. It's not like other gels where they actually are gels and some of them are thicker than others. No, this feels like almost like applesauce, but it's very smooth. It's still smoother than applesauce. It also has that applesauce taste to it and a bit of the consistency, which maybe some people won't like, but I love. I think honestly best gel. Also, like the GU gels, they taste great, don't get me wrong, but yeah, they are thicker, and because they're thicker, because of the consistency, it requires me to chug some water, because it leaves me a little like just wanting water. Whereas these, I don't need to chug water. I chug them in, take them in, and I'm good. So honestly, 10 out of 10 from me, if I'm being completely honest. I'm not even trying to glaze, it's just a fact. But yeah, that's fire. Also, right now I'm walking because I'm at the point in my training where I'm simulating how I'm gonna be going, or how I'm gonna be running during the 200 miler for Project 200, which, by the way, here's the QR code for the Project 200 the fundraiser. This one here, because I explained to my girlfriend and she was a little confused, so I'm explaining to y'all. Here's the QR code for the fundraiser. The fundraiser is the main thing to raise money for Project 200. That is going to the Houston Food Bank. And then here's the QR code for the GoFundMe. It won't be up for that much longer because I kind of need to hurry up with raising money. But this GoFundMe is to help me raise money to help film the run, the 200 miler for Project 200. And so here's that QR code. And so Project 200, the actual fundraiser itself, will be a year-long thing. With the film, I'm hoping to bring awareness to the 200 mile run, to Project 200. And yeah, it's very costly. To begin with, I am already in debt. And with this, I'm basically going to triple my debt. I don't, you can call me crazy, but I've always said it before. If you followed me on my socials, TikTok, Instagram, but I post a lot about it. Oh, and Twitter as well. All of them are in the description, by the way. But I always speak about it. You have to bet on yourself. You have to trust yourself. You have to believe that you can do it. Even if all the odds are stacked against you, you have to trust yourself. Bet on yourself always. You have to win. You always have to. You'll have to put your best foot forward. In this case, I am just cooked. I am screwing myself over, a lot of people can say. And they have every reason in the world to doubt me. And I understand their perspective. I understand where they're coming from. I mean, most people wouldn't do what I'm doing. But I'm truly, with everything, I am betting on myself. And I honestly, wholeheartedly do believe that I'm going to come out on top. I do believe that I'm going to win. I do believe that this betting on myself is going to pay off eventually. And so no matter how many doubters I have, how many people doubt me and how much doubt I end up facing from others, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as I don't doubt myself. Also, quick disclaimer, I got a newsletter also linked in the description. Every week, either 1 or 2 emails I send out, self-improvement, self-mastery stuff, the daily dally. Also, at times I send out updates about what I'm doing, if you care about that. But yeah, the mastery reps in the description. Honestly, really amazing, because I do some of my real good writing there. So check it out if that interests you. Just a newsletter, weekly newsletter sent to your email every single week. Yeah. All right, let's keep running. Yeah, man, just get after it. Personally speaking, at one point I did struggle with simply getting started, and sometimes that wasn't really the biggest obstacle, but for a while it was. But I do know a few people personally that I know that their biggest struggle is simply starting. And so if you're watching this, do know that it gets easier. And even not just life itself, but actually like getting stuff done, right? Or maybe I should say the other way around, not just simply getting stuff done, but life itself will get easier as long as you start taking steps forward, especially when it comes to trying to build habits or improve yourself. Change for the year. It's still the beginning of the year. A lot of people made resolutions. They want to start improving, becoming better. The biggest thing you can do is start. And I think the best piece of advice I can give you is to not overcomplicate it, because I know what a lot of people end up doing. They overcomplicated themselves. They have this big goal that they strive for at the end. And so because they have these big goals, they think that these smaller steps won't get them nowhere. But I'm here to tell you, as an example, if you're striving to, at the end of the year, run a marathon, but you've never ran in your life, of course, absolutely the best thing you could do is to start. And maybe you don't even have to run 10 minutes. Just go out and walk for 10 minutes. Get some steps on your feet. That's the best piece of advice I can give you, because first it starts with 10 minutes of walking. Then it turns into 20. Then you do your first run, even if it's just 2 minutes of running. Then after your first 2 minutes, it turns into 5. And then 10. And then so on and so forth. Every day you keep showing up. Every week you start building up. And you keep improving. You keep stacking those bricks until eventually, bam, you're at the marathon point where you can run it, maybe run and walk, and then finish it, and you completed your first marathon. But it takes the first step to make any sort of progress. And if you refuse to take that first step, then progress won't ever start, because nothing changes and nothing changes, and life won't give you the first step. You have to take it yourself. I said it in the video, but I'm a big believer of God. But asking God for miracles won't make the change. He'll give you the path forward, and he'll put the blessings throughout the path. But if you don't choose to walk the path, you'll never experience the blessings that he's giving you. So yeah, that's what I got to say. See y'all in a bit. Womp. That was a bad transition. Also, this Project 200 thing is very much a grind. One of the big reasons why I volunteered is because I wanted to do something as part of BPN, you know? Put my foot out there, step out of my comfort zone. But it was also to speak about Project 200. And I did. Not as much as I probably should have, but I did. But one thing is, I'm going to San Marcos to pick up a bunch of flyers, and I'm gonna put them out throughout the neighborhood. The reason why I'm going to San Marcos is because even though currently I'm dropped out, I just dropped out this semester, or last semester I guess, but I was going to Texas State, which is why I was over there. And some of my homeboys are still going to Texas State, so I'm gonna ask them to help me print out flyers so that it could be free for me, because I'm planning on printing out a bunch. So I'm gonna ask them to help me out to help print out flyers, and I'm gonna head over tomorrow morning, because typically I like doing my runs in the morning. Most of the time I do, and if I do them at night, it's either because I just got off of work at night, or yeah, it's kind of only when. The plan is I'm gonna go pick them up in the morning, do everything I gotta do, because I have a daily list of like daily goals, right? And even though I would like to consider them non-negotiable, they shouldn't be negotiable, but I missed them a couple times. Like yesterday I missed a couple goals, and the day before I missed a couple goals as well. But the thing is, I've built so much consistency throughout the last couple years, to where if I end up messing up 1 or 2 days, I can always come back. And that's something that you have to build. You don't just get it overnight. It takes a lot of trial and error, a lot of messing up and making mistakes, but getting yourself back on your feet. But with that being said, what I was getting at is afterwards, I'll do whatever I gotta do, and then I'm gonna do a Nick Bear type of style, like an overnight ultra. And so that's the plan. I'll start in the afternoon, late in the afternoon tomorrow, and I'll finish in the morning the next day. And so that's the plan right now, all for not only training, but to also make it into content and to promote Project 200, possibly put out flyers while I'm doing the run, you know, in mailbox and stuff. So that'll be fun, just grinding, making things happen, because once again, if nothing changes, and nobody's gonna do it for me. I have to do it for myself. All glory to God. Yeah, let's keep going. I think I'm about an hour and 10, an hour 15 into it, so almost done, over halfway there. So let's keep going. Let's get it. Let me give y'all a big old kiss. I got a bit of a stomach cramp. I've never had this before. Again, I am running faster than usual, but I do have to pee. So I don't know if because I'm holding my pee back, my stomach was like my core was a little tight. But I'm not stopping the run short. I'm just gonna head over to my house, pee, and then continue the run. I should be at around like an hour 38, 39, almost done. Might go a little more, I don't know, we shall see. But yeah, let's get this piss in. Holy.
Let me tell you how life been recently.
Static selector.
Okay, we are back out again. About 22 more minutes left. My body's all cold and stuff. I don't even want to run no more. I just want to finish. This is one thing. People are like, well, I don't get how you like running. I don't. I think Kendall said it best. One of the finishers for the Go One More Ultra, the last man standing. Like, I don't like running, but I love running because I love what it does for me as a person, physically, mentally, even spiritually. But I don't like it. I don't like coming out here and going on a run. I don't like going out here when it's cold or when it's hot, having to feel all the sweat drop down my body. Sometimes it gets me super cold. Other times I just end up getting heated up. I don't like, feeling clean as I wake up, then bam, now I'm sweating. Now I need to go shower, right? Like, I don't like running, but I love what it does for me. And so I keep running. it makes me better. It makes me a better person, a better boyfriend. Eventually, it'll make me a better husband. Eventually, a better father. But it makes me a better person nonetheless, no matter what perspective you view it from. So yeah, let's keep going. Almost done. All right, so 2 hours have been completed. And now I'm just running back home. Now, this was a great run, amazing run. However, at the end, I just wanted this done. I'm still going at about like between 10 and 11 minute per mile pace. I think like a 10:30. Still faster than what I have ran in the past like month and a half or so in terms of like this sort of distance in 2 hours. So yeah, it's pretty fire. Very proud of myself. You know, even if I wouldn't have ran this fast, especially because this is literally my longest like consistent run outside since my calf strain injury. I had a soleus strain at the beginning of the year, and that literally just stopped me. I just started running again. So I just finished the run, and then for the water, put my gels in here and my AirPods, and then held the phone on this hand. But yeah, I just got back from a soleus strain. I was doing a lot of running workouts, and I can show you like all of them here. So I was doing a lot of that. And then just last week, I did my first 15 minutes straight running. And then I believe it was Friday where I did my first, a good long, where I would like run majority of it and then walk a bit of it. And it was on an incline, but it was on the treadmill. So the impact wasn't the same, but it was very reassuring that I was able to do so on the, I believe, a 6% incline on the treadmill for 2 hours, which was majority running and a little bit of walking. And so right now I just did my first, what would be 20-minute and 25-minute consistent run. So I'm very proud of myself for that. That is a big step forward, because when the soleus strain happened, I couldn't even walk at a 2 mile per hour pace at the beginning. I had to walk at a 1.8. And I know that because I was putting it on the treadmill and it was a 1.8. And eventually I got up to a 2, then a 2.5, and then eventually 3, and then I was doing a walk and run. So me consistently showing up, doing the therapy exercises, exercising my legs, putting some steps in, consistently showing up every single day got me to this point where I can now run 20 minutes and 25 minutes straight. Not only that, I'm doing that at a pace that I haven't done so in forever. This 10-minute per mile pace, which I was doing at the beginning, like at the first hour, the last time I did that consistently was probably a couple runs, but last year only. So last year I was doing that sort of pace, but only for a couple runs. And then at the end, it was about like a 10-minute, 30-second, minute per mile pace. And that's still big for me, because usually most of my runs were 11-minute and up, sometimes 12 and sometimes 13 minutes. So this is a big improvement for me, and I'm very, very proud of myself. So pat on the back for me. That was a run. It was, well, here's the run, 11 miles, 2 hours. Yeah, the biggest thing when it comes to ultra distance running, piece of advice, is you're not really going for miles, you're going for time. And so 2 hours on my feet is bigger, because more often than not, you don't really need to go fast, because it's an ultra. You're going for distance, you're going for endurance, not so much speed. But we got that done, showed up. I'm not sure how much more I'm gonna record. I will record what I'm about to eat right now, so let's go do that. Come with me. If nothing else, this will be a video showing like my morning. So yeah. Before that though, typically after my run, and as soon as I possibly can, I always stretch out my legs. Me personally, this helps me out. I know there's people like Andrew Glaze that say that they personally don't stretch. They feel like it probably does more harm than good to them. But to me, I've always felt to help out, especially when it comes to getting rid of soreness the next day. Whenever I stretch out, especially when it's something consistent like my runs, it's something to where it's intense enough to where if I don't stretch this out, I get sore the next day. But if I stretch this out, if I stretch my legs out, literally the next day, I feel no soreness. Of course, the muscles are a little tired from the running. It's bound to happen, but they don't feel sore. And so this stretching always helps remove it. I believe this is called static. And I typically just do this. This is me personally speaking. I know how long it could take for me to get rid of everything and all the soreness. And so I personally do it between 30 minutes to an hour. And for the longer runs, because I've done marathons before, for training, they tend to be more between like an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. So it just depends. But I do these sort of stretches. I put the leg out as to the side as much as I can. Might put it forward and reach forward. I'll put it behind my back, and or just laying it back like this, right? And so I'll do several things, several stretches. Just get it. Oh, turn the angle. Put the ankle more inside. Put it like interior and then exterior. Put it like that. I don't know if I used that correctly, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. And I do that. Now, I usually wasn't doing this beforehand. I just started doing this around 2 months ago. So 1 month. Yeah, so about like a month and a half ago, I started implementing mobility work. And so what I do, it's really just yoga, but intended more so towards athlete recovery and athlete mobility. I don't really have a specific routine that I personally do, that I personally created myself. I just go on YouTube, search up mobility work, and however much time I have. Sometimes the ideal goal is 30 minutes, but sometimes I do 20. I've done a 15-minute one before. I've also done a 30-minute, put out a 30-minute video, but only did about 15 of it. I've done that before. But the goal of it is just to keep mobility good. And also these static stretches, as much as they remove the soreness, I believe that it's also not the best thing to only just keep your leg in one position and just stretch it out and that's it. I do believe that this is necessary to really stretch out the muscles and help them relax a little. But I do believe that on top of this, I believe this is static, where you're not moving. I think it's also good to stretch the body out with movement as well, whatever that's called. Currently, I can't remember, and I'm so sorry that I can't remember. But stretching it while still and then stretching it while having some movement, I believe that helps out a lot. And really, you don't need too much. You don't need an hour or two. If you have that sort of time, that's great. Honestly, do it. But if you don't, something like 20 minutes, even if you do 10 minutes a day, every single day you show up with the mobility exercises, I promise you, it'll make such a big difference. And this is for me as an ultra runner. If you're training for 5Ks, 10Ks, or even a marathon, or even if you're just training to have a good physique, you do a lot of weight training, but you still implement runs or cycling or swimming, this mobility work helps out a ton. So I do recommend you doing this sort of stuff. But that was enough blabbering. I'll finish stretching. Y'all don't want to see all of my stretches. I'm still on the first leg. I still feel a bit of a pull here, but it feels a lot less tighter than earlier when I first started speaking. So yeah, I'll get to the food afterwards. Really, it'll be in the next cut, but I'm gonna finish this up and I'll see y'all in a bit. All right, guys. So I'm about to eat. Beep. Here we go. So I was gonna cook something, but then I opened up the fridge and I saw we have a lot of food here. So I guess that's one of the perks of, still living with my parents right now, is that there's a bunch of leftover food and I get to just make me a big old plate. This is a bunch of different eggs that are just in the fridge. Actually, let me turn the camera better. A bunch of eggs that were just in the fridge already made. Chicken that I made yesterday. This is chicken breast. And then these are potatoes that my mama made that were also in the fridge. And so I'm just gonna eat this big old plate by myself. Maybe get some with this bread, maybe. All of this comes to about, I don't know how many calories. Can estimate that's about, so this could be about 800-900 calories right there on this plate. So yeah, big breakfast. I might eat like 2 other times today, or maybe just once. I don't know. I shall see. 0 sugar, no caffeine, because caffeine makes my tummy feel a little rumbly. It doesn't have that bad of an effect on me, but it does make me shit, and sometimes it just leaves me with the urge to want to shit, but not actually shit. So no caffeine. So this has been my morning today. This is my first morning where all I do is focus on working out. The last 2 weeks, my mornings throughout the weekdays when I don't work have been, because I've been injured, I was reading, I was making posts, I would read. So I would read, currently I'm reading Atomic Habits, I would read pages of that, then I would read the Bible, then I would work out, so a little bit of lifting, and I would also go on a walk while studying French. So those would be my mornings. But now that I'm getting back into intense training, my mornings will really just consist of training and eating. And then in the afternoon, I'll focus on everything else, which would be like the business building, the language learning, the reading, and the post making, content making. And yeah, so that's my morning for today. I think I'll leave this video off of here. Be your best self. Show up for yourself every day. The best investment you can make is on yourself. And always remember that when you become better, the people around you become better. So if you want to improve lives, improve yourself, and that will energy radiates whenever you do good and people around you see that, they strive to be better. Be the leader in your circle. And I'm not even saying like, oh, like be number one. No, I'm just saying be the person that chooses to make the change. Be the person that chooses to take action and make the decisions that you know will lead you towards a better path. And yeah, that's it. And eat good, eat your veggies, eat your protein. Get the workout in, get your steps in, do what you got to do, because success is different for everybody. But I'm chasing my success and I want you to chase yours. And guess what? I want you to achieve yours. But yeah, that's it. I'm out. See y'all in the next video. Big old plate of food ready to be ate. Yeah, love y'all. Stay blessed. Check all the links in the description. Once again, Project 200. Here's the fundraiser for Project 200 that goes to the Houston Food Bank. And then here's the GoFundMe to help me film the run. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's it. Stay blessed. I did that. Okay, that meal. Because I did a good job. First time ever making it this way.
It looks like you would charge like $20 something for that.